Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à notre leçon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another lesson we have today. And today we're going to be looking at um, the market, right? So as you can see from the picture, you can see different people in the market scene, some buying, some selling. So we're just going to learn how to um, make short sentences, how to make long sentences. But to first start off with, we're going to, try and list off some items which you would see in the market, right? Typically. But to kick off with, let's try and conjugate the verb achet, acheter. Let's try to conjugate that into the present tense, right? So if you want to say I buy, that would be j'achète. You buy, tu achètes. He or she buys, il achète or elle achète. We buy, nous achetons. You buy, which is the formal way of saying you. In this case, unlike tu, would be vous achetez. And then they buy would be ils achètent or elles achètent. All right, you got that? All right, so you can practice pronouncing these again. You can play back and listen to me once again, and pronounce these words, these short sentences. So they'll be able to know how to say I buy or I'm buying something in the present tense. All right, so let's jump straight right in to our market scene. All right, what it's like. So a market in French is, or the market, French is le marché. All right, and some of the items which you see in a market would be, for example, pomme de terre, which is sweet potato, as you can guess, from just how it looks, how this image looks like. Carrot is caro. Legumes or like vegetables would be like legume. Fish is not poison, just as we have in English. It might seem or look like poison, as it's spelled, but it's actually pronounced as poison. Poison. Orange is orange, or the plural of it would be orange, because you can add an S after that. And then pineapple is ananas. Tomato, tomate. Meat is viande. Riz is rice. And haricot is beans. Okay, as you can guess, you notice some of these words end in E, right? So what do you think that signifies? Are they male? Are they classified as male or female? In French we have various words and things that are classified into male and female groups, right? So as you can see for viande, it is seen as female, so it has an E at the end. So if you want to say the meat, you pronounce it as la viande, not le viande, la viande, right? And then we have also pomme de terre, which would be la pomme de terre, not le pomme de terre. La tomate, you see, you got that? All right, so that's classification of also foods into male and female. That's just the way French goes. Right. Um, so as mentioned earlier, yeah, just classification of male and female, and it's also important to understand your articles. Which articles would be for male, which articles would be for female, and that will correspond to the various objects or things or foods that you have in the market scene. So just follow these rules, just as we looked at when we're taking a look at the topic articles. This is a little summary of it all, but if you haven't had a look at it, um, the link to that will be in the description below, which you can click and then watch, so that you can learn how to pronounce articles in male and female and also in plural form. Uh, and now let's bring everything together by having or making short sentences, okay, based on what we've learned so far on how to conjugate achete into the present tense and some everyday items which you have in the market. You know. So one example of a short sentence or simple sentence would be j'achète les légumes, which is I am buying vegetables. Ils achètent à manger. They are buying something to eat or they are buying to eat. Elles achètent the pizza because you know what pizza is, right? In French, so that means she is buying pizza, right? And the final one, but not the least, is nous l'achetons. That means we are buying it. Okay, so I've used the article there, L apostrophe, which is signifying it's an item or the item, right? So in translation, that would be we are buying it. Nous l'achetons, all right? Now we're going to take a little break right now, you know, so you can pause right here and you know play back this lesson on a couple of things that we've learned so far: how to conjugate the verb acheter into the present tense, some items which you have in the market, and we also had a little short revise on the verb on articles, right? And we made short sentences, short simple sentences, right? So you can practice this and listen once again. We practice, and we'll then in our next class we're going to look at part two of it all right? But so we've reached the end of today's lesson, all right? On a short market scene, all right, with short sentences, all right? Now we're gonna, if you haven't subscribed, you know, click that bell notification so you get notified. Also click the subscribe button, you know, so that you know you can be aware and join and be part of the channel, so that when any content is uploaded, you can get a notification and all that, right? And I'll see you in the next class, right? So where we're going to be looking at a bit more longer sentences and how to make longer sentences about buying stuff from a supermarket, from a shop, or from a market scene typically. All right. So see you in the next class. Au revoir. À tout à l'heure.